Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Village Board of Village of Pleasantville. Today is Monday, May 10. As always, you can pick up our meetings live on Zoom. The links for those meetings are available at our website, pleasantville-ny.gov. And within a few days, you can pick up an on-demand webcast, both of our work session and our regular session. As is the case for our other boards and commissions, we remain, at least for the moment, meeting remotely via Zoom. There will be a discussion, I think, relatively soon about the question of when we will return to on-site meetings and the method under which we do so. But one of the points for sure is that there have been some advantages to the Zoom world. And we're, as I think many municipalities are, thinking about the ways in which we can accommodate in-person meetings, which offer a lot of advantages without losing the advantages that we have gained with Zoom remote. So our next regular meeting is 2 weeks from today on Monday, May 24, work session at 7, regular meeting at 8. So I have a bunch of announcements to make. The first is, as has been the case for altogether too long, a COVID report. The numbers in the Village of Pleasantville and the numbers in the county have continued to improve. We're down under 10 positives for the first time in a very, 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 very long time. So that is great news. We continue to get a steady stream of new positives each day and each week. There have been a couple of days where we've had a 0 number, but most days we're seeing 1, 2, or 3 new positives. So I don't want people to believe that it's all gone, but by the same token, people can certainly be heartened by the improvement we're seeing. So that's a good segue to the immunization status. After a period of time when it was tough to get an appointment for an immunization, it's now easy to get an appointment for an immunization. And in fact, in a lot of cases, you can do so on a walk-up basis. So anybody who hasn't been vaccinated, really encourage them to get vaccinated. As of the last report that was issued, the Pleasantville zip code 10570 was just over 60% of eligible folks 18 and above had received the vaccine. So that actually is a pretty good number in comparison to many other communities, but Westchester County as a county lags behind a number of other counties upstate, and 60% is just not good enough. And to that number of 60% does not include younger people who are 16 and 17. So really encourage everybody to get a vaccine. And in that connection, our folks at the Pleasantville Farmers Market have partnered with Phelps Hospital and their colleague, Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps, to provide a pop-up vaccine site at the farm market this Saturday. So they will arrive with the capacity to deliver up to 100 vaccines. No appointment is necessary. That's this coming Saturday at the farm market, starting at 9 a.m. and continuing until 1 p.m. or the point at which the vaccines are exhausted. So anybody who's able to do that can come, and the folks at Phelps and Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps will deliver the vaccine and give you an appointment to return, same place, same time, to the farm market for your follow-up dose, which would be Saturday, June 12. The doses they're going to be delivering are the Moderna vaccine. Again, it's a 2-step vaccine. So it is both a great opportunity for anybody who's been daunted by the business of going to one of the sites where there might be a line to come here in our own community and get a vaccine. It's also a great opportunity for folks to realize how important it is for people to get vaccinated, because the way we keep everybody safe and swing this pendulum back to normal faster and faster and faster is increased vaccine. So that is this Saturday, the 15th, at the farm market, starting at 9 a.m. on a walk-up basis. Be there or be square. Thank you, Farm Market. Thank you, Phelps Hospital. And thank you, Ossining Volunteer Ambulance Corps, which is doing a number of pop-up sites associated with the Phelps Hospital and with the county health department. So anybody have anything to add on the COVID or vaccine site before I move on?
Just to say that the FDA just approved the Pfizer vaccine for 12 to 18-year-olds.
Great. So, I mean, we don't get the numbers broken down by a demographic, but what does seem clear, and which we heard today on the weekly county call, is younger folks have not been as well represented in the vaccinated crowd. Partly, obviously, the fact that the availability of the vaccine, which now goes down to 16, and by David's report is soon to go to 12, is relatively new. There's some vaccine resistance, some sense that the young and healthy don't need it. But I think all the science indicates that everybody getting it helps not only the recipient, but all the folks the recipient comes into contact with. So stay tuned.
We've all gotten it on the board, right? We all did well. I felt crummy for a day, but we're all doing well.
Like, you know, it's like however bad it is, you know that you're not actually sick. So
Exactly. Right. So psychologically it's not so, and it's a sign that it's working. So
yeah.
All right.
I can say from experience of having COVID, this was much easier. So, and you know, I could say, and I'm pretty healthy and I'm young, so I can tell you that this is way better than actual.
I mean, honestly, it's just so clear. I can tell you here in the village of Pleasantville, we've had a number of people who have died of COVID, and quite a number of people who are long haul COVID sufferers, even as they're no longer infectious, suffering the tailwind effects of a pretty serious virus. And nobody gets to predict how your specific DNA is mapped to respond. So old and young are both at risk. It's a great solution to avoid all of that. So a couple other things to announce while we're on the date business. On Saturday, May 22nd, the county is bringing their shred mobile to the Public Works and Recycling Center down at DPW at the end of Village Lane. So that's Saturday, May 22nd from 10 a.m. to 1. Residents can bring up to 4 regular file boxes of confidential papers per household. You have to make sure that you removed binder clips and covers and things like that. Business documents are not acceptable. Services first come, first serve. The mobile shredder can reach its maximum capacity before closing. So we encourage you to get there early, but it's something a lot of folks have taken advantage of. So a nice opportunity and a great service from the county to send this shredding truck around to the various municipalities. So Saturday, May 22, 10 a.m. And then the last thing I wanted to report on the schedule front is that 2 days later, our next village board meeting, Monday, the 24th, we have a public hearing on a proposed amendment to our zoning code to make a number of additions to it, including the definitions of average mean grade, as well as the introduction of a floor area ratio, which would be another zoning component that would control the size of a house. It is, if you followed our previous meetings, not something that's likely to affect a large number of people, but if it's a matter of interest, we have a public hearing and we'll be encouraging anybody who has comments to weigh in 2 weeks from today, Monday the 24th. The documents will be up on our website at pleasantville-ny.gov within a few days in advance. Happy to report that our pool season is ramping up. Anyone who's walked by the pool lately knows that it's been cleaned, it's been filled. It's starting to look like summer is coming for real this time. We put out information at the end of last week about the registration and are really, really hoping we'll get a good response to it. We understand that it's a different summer. What we've proposed, and you can see by downloading the information which is available on the website, is that what's proposed at the moment is a reservation system and a 2-session system each day. So you'd sign up by advance reservation either for the early session or the later session. depending on how the demand goes and how many people sign up and how our demand works through the course of the week, it may be that we can relax these guidelines quite a bit. Certainly some reason to think we could do that during weekdays in the early part of the season. But we're starting out with a system that would give people the assurance that before they pack everything up and load the kids in the car, they could be sure they could get in. When you get there, there are a bunch of rules and regs that would affect you. It's all outlined in detail on a 3-page PDF, including the calendar for the pool. But we really encourage folks to grab what we hope will be as close to a regular summer as it's possible to make in these times. And as an add-on, it's also now clear that we'll be able to have a swim team. Coach has been hired. Obviously, the swim team summer will be a bit different than usual as well, but a lot of the summer traditions focused around the pool are back. So while you're at it, if you have a high school age person in your house who's looking for a summer job, high school or college, lifeguard jobs are available now. Get in touch with the Parks Department about lifeguard jobs and about summer day camp jobs. Bunch of other things going on. Lots of folks have commented about the incessant banging of the piles going into the Sawmill Parkway to create the elevated bridges. There's the ongoing discussion with County DOT. I know Senator Harckham has been involved and has been in touch with some of the neighbors about all of that. But it certainly is a difficult time, both from the standpoint of the sound and from the standpoint of traffic. And it's going to go on for what, another year? Am I overstating it when I say a year?
No.
So they'll finish this section and then move further down. And there's quite a bit of work to be done on both sides of the sawmill. So a tough time. I attended last week a really pretty amazing event. Those of you who are familiar with the small industrial building that has existed for a long time on Tompkins Avenue at the foot of Martling may have noticed that recently signs have gone up. A new company is occupying that space called Spectrum Designs. Spectrum Designs is an offshoot of an enterprise called the Nicholas Center, both not-for-profits. And the Nicholas Center is involved in promoting inclusion and offering training and opportunities to folks who are affected by autism and related disabilities. And Spectrum Designs has established a manufacturing facility right here in Pleasantville that makes T-shirts and caps and swag of all kinds. And they primarily seek to hire and provide job opportunities for folks with autism and related disabilities. So it was really a great event when there was a ribbon cutting for their new facility at Spectrum Designs. It attracted quite a crowd of attendees, including Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, former Governor David Patterson, the Commissioner of the New York State Department of Labor, George Latimer, our County Legislator Margaret Kunzio, as well as a bunch of other folks. So just happy to say congratulations to Spectrum Designs and to the Nicholas Center. A really great addition to our community. Take a look at their website, spectrumdesigns.org, or the Nicholas Center, which is tncnewyork.org, and read about the story and the services they provide. Clearly, it's going to be a great piece of synergy with some of the work that goes on in our community for folks affected by autism and related disabilities. So a great news all the way around. As I mentioned last time, and a little more is known, and a lot of the information was released today, the ARPA money, the American Rescue Plan Act, in other words, the COVID relief money that is coming directly to us from the federal government, apparently making a stop in Albany along the way. We anticipate getting about $400,000 this year and about $400,000 next year. The Department of Treasury today issued more detailed information about the regulations surrounding what you're allowed to spend it on. Eric tried to be a part of the webinar and it promptly crashed because of over demand, and the feds are going to reissue. Have I got that right, Eric?
Yes, and actually Noreen snuck in early, reported pretty high-level talks, nothing in too much detail about specifics, but Noreen, if you wanted to add anything.
Yeah, exactly that. It was pretty limited, lasted maybe 25 minutes, couple of key slides that just referenced you to a website with further details. So
Well, there you have it.
we'll dig in.
Yeah, we'll have more details very soon, but what's clear is that it's great, obviously, to get this money, 400,000 this year, 400,000 next. But it is there are some very specific regulations about how it can be used. So we'll be giving some thought in the coming weeks to how to manage that process to be compliant and to benefit the community in what feels like the best way. And then the last thing I wanted to comment on, which I also commented on the last time, is that, as most of you already know, New York State has legalized marijuana, both the possession of and the personal cultivation of marijuana, with certain limits on quantities. And the piece of it that lands in the hands of village, town, and city boards is to determine whether we wish to opt out of two different things. One would be the right to opt out of having a retail dispensary in the community, and the other would be to opt out of having an on-site consumption facility, a vaping parlor or the like in the community. The community can elect to opt out of either one of those things. In the event that we do not act by December 31st of this year, communities would automatically be included in this and would lose the right to opt out in the future. We can also opt out this year and elect later to opt in if circumstances changed. Another point to be made is that there is a piece of the sales tax of any sales that would go on in a community that come back directly to the community that was the host. So quite a bit of discussion to be had on that. I know that the folks at Pleasantville Strong has already had a conversation with Eric and me, and provided all of us on the board with a bunch of materials stating their position. I'll leave it to them when we have a meeting to do so. But it's our intent to plan to have a Zoom meeting with the community and invite commentary on all sides as we consider all of this. As mentioned, it's a decision that has to be made by the village board by passing a local law before December 31 of this year. So anybody else have anything to add in the way of comment on all that I've said or announcements on any other subject? Okay, any comments from the public on any subject? All right, there being none, I will share my screen and we will go to the resolutions. Okay, Paul, resolution number 120.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoint Alyssa Hochstein to the title Secretary to the Village Administrator, job title 23-3, effective May 17, 2021, at salary of $70,000. Said appointment is subject to a probationary period of a minimum of 12 weeks and can be extended to a maximum not to exceed 52 weeks.
Is there a second?
Second.
Eric, do you want to report?
Sure. So Alyssa is joining us from the town village of Mount Kisco, where she's currently the Deputy Receiver of Taxes. As the board knows, Mary Schwartz is retiring, the village treasurer, and Noreen Regan is moving into that position, opening up this position that Alyssa will be filling. So she's beloved in Mount Kisco, went through the interview process here and rose to the top of the group of candidates, and we're looking forward to having her join the team on May 17th.
Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Welcome, Alyssa.
Motion approved. 121, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Michael Newman to the title Superintendent of Recreation, job title code 0260-01, effective May 17th, 2021, at a salary of $105,000. Said appointment is subject to a probationary period of a minimum of 12 weeks and can be extended to a maximum not to exceed 52 weeks.
Is there a second?
Second.
So as many of you know, Matt Trainer, who we hired as a superintendent of Parks and Recreation a couple of years ago, has elected to depart us and return to North Castle. That gave rise to a canvas search for folks who would apply for that job, included among them Mike Newman, our longstanding employee, and the number 2 guy in our Parks and Rec department. All of us were involved in the interview process and arrived at the decision to appoint Mike. Anybody want to add to that?
We're very excited to have him, leading the department.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Mike.
Likewise, it's the happiest news when somebody like Mike joins us, grows in the job, and then when an opportunity arises, is anointed to fulfill it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. David, number 122.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Mindy Rogers to the title Recreation Assistant, job title code 026902, CSEA wage schedule B, group 4, step 5, annual salary $39,928, effective May 17th, 2021. Said appointment is subject to a probationary period of a minimum of 12 weeks and can be extended to a maximum not to exceed 52 weeks.
Is there a second?
Second.
So Mike's ascension to the top post in Parks and Recreation, along with Chris Mance, who we hired a year ago, who has various roles, including Panther Club, has created a new empty slot. And we are nothing short of delighted to welcome back Mindy Rogers, who was well known to anybody who had been a Panther Club parent, because she was a key player in the operation of Panther Club in its early years. So welcome back, Mindy Rogers.
Yeah, and I can say that when your 9-year-old daughter remembers a village employee who hasn't been working there for over a year, I want to say, it's a pretty good sign that they're special. So we're excited to have her back.
That's for sure. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Michael, 123.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the step increase of Vanessa Bongarzoni, Recreation Assistant, CSEA wage schedule B to step 5, annual salary $39,928, effective May 17th, 2021, per Article 3, Section 4 of the CSEA contract currently in effect through May 31st, 2022.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Back to you, Paul.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the notice of retirement from Mary Short's Village Treasurer with a revised effective date of June 18th, 2021.
Is there a second?
Second.
So Mary has stretched it out a couple of weeks.
Yeah, she had a follow-up call with the retirement system, and this is the ideal date because of where her birth date actually falls. So,
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts the donation in the amount of $2,225 for the purchase and installation of a park bench for Martin and Joanne Homlish.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Marty and Joanne are making this extraordinarily generous gift in honor of and in memory of Jerry Lynch. Jerry Lynch was a village trustee for a couple of terms. And in fact, when Jerry decided to step down and not run for re-election, it was none other than me that stood in his shoes. So a very, very, very generous and appropriate thing from Marty and Joanne. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion approved. 126, David.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby approves the minutes of the regular meeting held on April 26, 2021, attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
As is always the case, if you are interested, you can download the minutes. Anything in blue on our Novus agenda is downloadable and you can take a look. Comments, questions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Michael.
Let's see. Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the following budget amendments for 2021 as listed below. Budget transfers from the general fund, $9,500 from, do you want me to read each number or what's the
You don't
best?
have to read the numbers. You can say as further stated in the record at the end.
Okay. As further stated in the record, transfers from the general fund and capital fund.
Probably should call out the total amounts.
Okay. $9,500 from the general fund, $31,000 from the general fund, and $5,400 from the general fund.
We usually read just what it's for.
Okay. Okay.
This is such a pain to do over Zoom.
Okay.
We told you to do it in summary form, and now we're complaining.
So for instance,
That's fine.
$9,500 from the engineer contractual service
Okay.
goes to planning and zoning outside service.
Okay.
I
Got
think
it.
the thrilling moments as a trustee, Pepper.
As so as senior trustee Asquith said, I will continue. Next budget transfer from the general fund of $31,000 from the contingent account to the police overtime account. The next is $5,400 from the contingent account to the transfer to capital account for Manville Road. So for a total from the general fund of $45,900. Next, regarding the capital fund, in the amount of $5,400, a transfer from the general fund to the Manville Road Improvements / Village Funds, in the amount of $10,000 from the Parklands Fund to the Pool Reconstruction account. For a total of the capital fund of $15,400.
Is there a second?
Second.
So it's mostly self-explanatory. I just want to comment on the last one, the $10,000 from Parklands Reserve Fund to the pool reconstruction. Two things to note. One is we have a reserve fund specifically for Parks and Recreation that is largely funded by a fee in lieu of recreation required for every new housing unit in the village. So when someone builds a single family house or an apartment building or a co-op or a condo, there's a sliding scale based on what kind of unit it is, but they make a contribution to the Parks and Rec Fund reflecting the future use of those inhabitants. So we have benefited from a fairly significant infusion of cash in that fund. And this $10,000 is being moved out of that for the Pool Reconstruction Fund funding the consulting work. Have I got that right, Eric?
That is correct.
All right. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Paul, 128.
Result that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the abstract for payment of claims dated May 10th, 2021 for the fiscal year 2021, covering check numbers 100150-100307, General Fund $188,912.47, Water Fund $115,330.68, Capital Fund $5,384, Refuse Fund $3,832.06, Trust Fund $820, for a total of $314,279.21.
Is there a second?
Second.
As always, you can download the detail if anyone is interested. Comments, questions about the check register? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. 129, Nicole.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby approves the request from the BTH Foundation for the Into the Light Walk on Sunday, June 13th, 2021 from 4:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. pending submission of insurance documents. And be it further resolved that the village police chief has the authority to cancel the event due to adverse weather conditions or other safety concerns.
Is there a second?
Second.
So as many of you know, the Break the Hold Foundation has done this walk several years running now. It is a means both of raising money and also raising awareness about mental health issues and depression. BTH came to us and has presented a COVID-safe parade. It will be different from past years. No indoor activity at the high school, which has typically been the launching point. Maximum of 150 walkers socially distanced, but folks are, of course, encouraged to sign up and make a contribution, even if the walk has been fully subscribed. Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. David, 130.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village Hazard Communication Program pending final review and revisions attached.
Is there a second?
Second.
Eric, hazard communication.
That's right. So that is a mandatory policy that each municipality has to have in place to educate or make aware to the employees the type of hazardous materials or chemicals or tools that they'll be utilizing. So we are updating it. This is provided to us through PERMA, our workers' comp insurance carrier.
Okay, comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 131, Michael.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the Village Bloodborne Pathogen Policy pending final review and revisions, a policy in the attachment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Eric, same story, right?
Yeah, same story. This is referring to notification protocols if somebody is poked with a sharp object or would come in contact or may come in contact with bloodborne pathogens. Very limited in our local government specifically, but nonetheless, we're required to have this policy in place.
Comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. 132, Paul.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorizes the village administrator to sign their agreement with Rimkunas Engineering, PLLC, for consultant and design services associated with the evaluation phase of the village pool reconstruction project for a fee of $9,000.
Is there a second?
Second.
So at our last work session, Steve Rimkunas of Rimkunas Engineering was a part of a discussion with Troy Tassier and Jim Kennedy. Troy, the chairman of our pool task force, Jim, a key player, and Troy and Jim participated with Eric and Noreen and others in reviewing various consultants. Steve Rimkunas rose to the top. We are hiring him. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Last one on our list, 133, Nicole.
Okay. Whereas there are presently pending before the New York State Supreme Court, County of Westchester, a series of tax certiorari proceedings titled Matters of 140 Bedford Road, LLC versus Board of Assessors of the Village of Pleasantville, et al. Superior Court was just, okay. Do I have to read that part?
No, you don't.
I can skip that part, right? Okay, whereas these proceedings challenge the real property tax assessment of property located at 140 Bedford Road, which is identified as section 99.19 block 2 lot 69 on the tax map of the Village of Pleasantville, otherwise known as the 1040 Bedford Road parcel, in the 2016 through 2020 assessment years, and the real property tax assessment of property located at 150 Bedford Road, which is identified as section 99.19 block 2 lot 68 on the tax map of the Village of Pleasantville, known as 150 Bedford Road parcel, in the 2018 assessment year. And whereas proposed terms of settlement have been reached providing for a disposition of the claims asserted in these proceedings, and whereas the Village Board of Trustees has obtained the advice and assistance of its counsel, Keenan Bean, PC, with respect to the proposed terms of settlement and duly considered same, and whereas pursuant to the proposed terms of settlement, the 2016 and 2017 challenges to the assessment of the 140 Bedford Road parcel and the 2018 challenge to the assessment of the 150 Bedford Road parcel will be withdrawn with no charge in assessment in these years. And whereas pursuant to the proposed terms of settlement, the 2018 through 2020 assessments of the 140 Bedford Road parcel will be reduced, thereby giving rise to a village tax refund. And whereas the projected Village of Pleasantville tax refund due under the proposed settlement terms equals approximately $1,246.55. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees authorizes the settlement of these proceedings so as to facilitate the withdrawal of the 2016 and 2017 challenges to the assessment of the 140 Bedford Road parcel and the 2018 challenge to the assessment of the 150 Bedford Road parcel. And be it further resolved that the Village Board of Trustees authorizes the settlement of these proceedings so as to adjust the village assessments of the 140 Bedford Road parcel in assessment years 2018 through 2020 as follows. In the year 2018, the assessment was $36,350, revised to $32,300 for a reduction of $4,050. In 2019, the assessment was also $36,350, revised to $33,200 for a reduction of $3,150. And in 2020, the same assessment was revised to $30,450 for a reduction in $5,900. Be it further resolved that the village administration and Keenan Bean as attorneys for the Village of Pleasantville are hereby authorized to take the steps necessary to effectuate these terms, including execution and entry of a consent judgment and the payment of any and all refunds required under the above authorized terms of settlement.
Is there a second?
Second.
Short version of a very long story is a refund of a little over $1,200. This site is the building in the old village, the veterinarian's office. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion approved. So we've added one more resolution that follows up on our work session discussion about the Fat Root outside dining structure. Noreen shared her screen. David.
Resolved, the Board of Trustees hereby refers the outdoor dining proposal from Fat Root Restaurant to the village's right-of-way area of Jackson Alley to the Architectural Review Board for review and comment.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. So that was the last of our regular agenda items. Eric Joni is joining us.
Yeah, she's going to pop on later. We have Gail and the chief on the line right now to discuss the time traveler's way request.
Okay, great. So that's back to work session.
Eric, is that what, Chief, is that why you've been growing out your beard for the last 6 months?
Right, I don't know what they're going to need me to do, so which time period I'm going to do, so.
Got your union card.
We are finishing our regular meeting and returning to work session, after which we will go into executive session on a matter of litigation. As reported, our next meeting is 2 weeks from today, Monday, May 24. Is there a motion to adjourn to go into work session followed by an executive session regarding litigation?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all and good night. We have now ended our regular session and are returning to work session